Seriously?
Hey guys, and welcome to another news video with myself, 6 Plus Stevo. Let's get straight into it. So we have some exciting vehicle rules today, mostly regarding Ramshackle. I'm not going to read through all the stuff, but I'm just going to focus on the important stuff. So the Ramshackle rules are changing. They were previously it was applied to the truck, and it was basically to roll a d6 every time you were hit with a weapon that had more than one damage, and if you rolled a 6, that damage was reduced to 1. It was a fluffy, cool little ability. It got you out of trouble every now and again, but it certainly wasn't anything you could rely on. Now the rule has massively improved. Firstly, it's not just trucks, it's a lot of vehicles. It says at the top here, it even applies to things like killer cans and mech guns, so most of the vehicles, which is very cool indeed. But the rule now states each time an attack is allocated to this model, unless that attack has a strength characteristic of 8 or more, so anything from strength 7 down, subtracts 1 from the damage characteristic of that attack to a minimum of 1. That's a really nice rule. Yeah, you are only subtracting 1 damage rather than reducing it down to a flat 1. So in that sense it's weaker, but in every other sense it's so much stronger. For one, you don't have to roll for it. This is an ability all the time, so you're always reducing that 1 off the damage. That's going to really add up to a lot of potentially saved wounds throughout the game. Yeah, it's just going to be really nice. Obviously anything strength 8 or more is still going to be putting the hurt on us, so things like las cannons and stuff are still going to be putting that nasty d6 damage or flat 6 damage or whatever it is. So we're still going to suffer from this properly specialised tank hunting weaponry. But for a lot of the sort of weaker sort of weapons designed to sort of target light vehicles and things, and some of the heavier sort of small arms fire and things, a lot of like damage 2 weaponry and things are going to be far less potent now against our vehicles. And this goes a long way. This sort of pairs up with the increased toughness of the orcs themselves into making the whole army a lot more durable. So yeah, the new Ramshackle rules get a massive 6 Plus Stevo thumbs up for sure. They are awesome. We've then got some rules for anyone out there who likes a dread mob. We've got some cool rules here. The Stomper is dropping from 46 power level to 34 and dropping 175 points. About damn time, GW. About damn time. We've waited how many editions, how many years for you to make this thing playable again? It now comes in at 675 points, which is a lot more respectable. As it says in the article, the Dakar weapon rules have improved it, so its power on the table is a lot better, and the drop in points. And I'm sure a lot of the new special rules and things are going to apply to a Stomper as well to really make it usable. We may actually see some Stompers on the table from now on, which is astounding news. And then we get to one of my favourites, the Gorkanauts and the Morkanauts. They're bulking up from 18 wounds to 24 wounds, so 6 more wounds. Very nice indeed. And their Claw of Gork, or possibly Mork, now gets a full 6 damage rather than a d6 damage. So really reliable damage output on them. They are seriously going to put the hurt on people. But there is a downside to this. They have now become Lords of War. They are no longer in the heavy support section, so that is the fly in the ointment there in regards to that. That does kind of suck, I've got to say. But I don't think I'd swap back. I think I'd rather keep him as a Lord of War with 24 wounds and flat 6 damage, and the improvements to Dakar and their weaponry that they've got. So they're going to be better at shooting, better in combat, and they're going to last a lot longer and be harder to bring down. So I'm kind of okay with them being Lords of War now. Yeah, they were Gorkanauts and Morkanauts have always been in that sort of grey area, haven't they? They're not quite big enough to be like a Lord of War, but not quite. They're maybe a little bit too big to be in the heavy support. They've always been in that sort of in between sort of stage, haven't they? But it finally sort of feels like they're kind of honing in and getting the rules kind of right for them. Gorkanauts are pretty strong at the moment. They're not bad at the moment, but it sounds like they're going to be a lot better. So that's really cool. And things like Killer Cans and Death Dreads and stuff all getting that Ramshackle rule. Lovely, lovely. So yeah, I'm going to be having a great time with my Dread Mob now. Here we are. The article then goes on to talk about the Kill Rig and the Hunter Rig. The awesome looking Trampler Squig towed vehicle with the Whirlboy on it and bristling with Dakar, which I thought was going to be a Lord of War, but I'm not so sure now because we've got its stat lines revealed, which does degrade over time, as is common with any vehicle like thing with this many wounds. But its stat line is as follows: movement 12 inches, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 6, toughness 8. That's good. 16 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3+ save. The toughness 8, I love. I absolutely love it. That's going to make this thing very hard to hurt. But 16 wounds. If the Gorkanaut and Morkanauts jumping up to 24 brings that into a Lord of War, does that mean this being at 16 wounds is going to keep it in the heavy support section? Possibly. And as it degrades, the movement drops, the strength drops, and the attacks drop. So your Dakar output, your psychic shenanigans, and all of that isn't going to be affected. But yeah, and it comes armed with Heavy Lobber, so indirect fire. That's very nice. Sticker cannon, the Whir Tower, if you choose that option, the Butcher Boys, Savage Horns, Hooves, and Saw Blades. So it's bristling with a bit of Dakar and a bit of choppy chop and a bit of everything. And then the article just goes on to talk about the Beast Snagger box trying to hype us up. Does it say what's coming tomorrow? Doesn't it? It's just talking about the thing. We're expecting heavy traffic to the site on Saturday, and we'll be implementing the queue system at peak times. So don't panic if you have to wait a short while to place your order. It's a sign that everything is working correctly. You won't have long to wait. Well, we'll hold you to that, GW. Hopefully it all sort of, yeah, everything goes according to plan tomorrow, because, yeah, I really, really hope I'm able to pre-order mine. But yeah, what do you think about these rules, guys? What do you think about them? Overall, I think the majority of this stuff sounds really cool and exciting. I love the fact that Gorkanauts and Morkanauts are having a big boost in stats. It's kind of gutting that they're Lords of War now, but I can live with it with them improvements. The Ramshackle rule, that's the highlight of this article for sure. Knowing that things like Death Dreads and Cans and Mech Guns and things, not just trucks, are going to get the Ramshackle rule. And the Ramshackle rule itself is so much better. And it's just going to be like a constant nerf to enemy guns targeting your vehicles is fantastic. Yeah, really, really good. And the kill rig looks cool. Yeah, I like the fact it's toughness 8. It's going to be able to do indirect fire with that heavy lobber. You got psychic powers, or transport, depending which option you go for. But yeah, it looks like a lovely vehicle. So yeah, really good stuff, guys. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I wish you all the luck tomorrow morning in pre-ordering your Beast Snagger box. But for now, guys, this is 6+ Stevo signing out.